Everything is bigger in Texas. But trust me, even Texans don't know half of what's coming in this video. From underwater caves that could swallow a small town, to a desert that blooms like a rainbow, to the fact that Texas has its own power grid. You're about to hear 25 geography facts about the Lone Star State that will absolutely blow your mind. Stick around till the end because number 25 is something most Texans don't even realize about their own state. And hey, if you love learning about wild geography facts from around the world, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It helps this channel grow, and I promise you'll never look at maps or places the same way again. 1. Texas is bigger than some countries. When people say Texas is big, they're not exaggerating. Texas is 268,596 square miles. That's bigger than France and Germany combined. If Texas were its own country, it would rank as the 39th largest in the world, ahead of countries like Turkey, Chile, and even Afghanistan. Imagine driving across it. You could start in El Paso and not even make it halfway to Beaumont in a day. 2. The longest border with Mexico. Texas shares 1,254 miles of border with Mexico, longer than California, Arizona, and New Mexico combined. This border shapes not just geography, but food, culture, and even language. From Tex-Mex tacos to bilingual towns, geography and identity go hand in hand here. 3. The mysterious Marfa Lights. Out in the desert near Marfa, Texas, strange glowing orbs have been reported for over a century. They float, split, merge, and dance across the horizon with no clear explanation. Scientists say it's just atmospheric reflections. Locals say otherwise. Either way, the geography of the high desert is literally creating natural light shows. 4. A desert that blooms. You might think deserts are lifeless, but Big Bend National Park proves otherwise. In spring, the Chihuahuan Desert explodes into color. Fields of bluebonnets, cacti bursting with flowers, and even ocotillo plants covered in fiery red blooms. It's proof that even dry landscapes can put on a show. 5. The Texas power grid. Here's one most people don't know. Texas is the only state in the US with its own power grid. It was originally built this way to avoid federal regulation. This independent geography of energy supply backfired in 2021 during that historic winter storm when millions lost power. Geography isn't just mountains and rivers, it's infrastructure too. 6. The longest stretch of undeveloped coastline. Texas has over 350 miles of coastline, and parts of it, like Padre Island, remain completely undeveloped. In fact, Padre Island is the longest barrier island in the world. You could walk for hours along stretches of sand and never see another soul. 7. Tornado Alley's southern edge. Texas sits at the bottom of Tornado Alley, which means it gets hit harder than any other state. On average, Texas experiences 132 tornadoes per year. That's more than Oklahoma, Kansas, or Nebraska. The flat geography of the plains mixed with clashing warm and cold air makes Texas a storm chaser's dream and nightmare. 8. The Edwards Aquifer. Underneath central Texas lies the Edwards Aquifer, a massive underground reservoir that supplies water to more than 2 million people. Some parts of it are so deep, scientists still don't know exactly how much water it holds. Texas is literally sitting on an underground ocean. 9. The Balcones Fault Line. Most people don't realize that Texas has a fault line running through it, the Balcones Fault. It's not like California's San Andreas, but it does create cliffs, springs, and unique terrain across central Texas. Cities like Austin owe their rolling hills and limestone springs to this geologic feature. 10. Enchanted Rock. Rising 425 feet above the Texas Hill Country is Enchanted Rock, a giant pink granite dome. Indigenous tribes believed it was sacred, and some even said spirits haunted the rock. Geologists say it's one of the largest natural granite monoliths in the US. Basically, Texas has its own mini Uluru. And hey, if you're still watching, you clearly love learning about crazy geography. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next mind-blowing facts about places you thought you knew. 11. The Texas Triangle. Over 70% of Texans live inside what's called the Texas Triangle, a region between Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. This triangle covers just 25% of the state's land, but holds the majority of its people. It's a clear example of how geography shapes population. 12th, Palo Duro Canyon. Known as the Grand Canyon of Texas, Palo Duro Canyon stretches 120 miles long, up to 20 miles wide, and plunges 800 feet deep. It's the second largest canyon in the US, and you probably never even heard of it. 13. Hidden coral reefs. Off the coast of Texas lies the Flower Garden Banks National Marine Sanctuary. Coral reefs so pristine, scientists say they're some of the healthiest in the entire Western Hemisphere. Yes, Texas has tropical coral reefs. Bet you didn't see that coming. 14. Guadalupe Peak. The highest point in Texas is Guadalupe Peak, standing at 8,751 feet. From the top, you can see for miles into New Mexico. Fun fact, it was once part of an ancient underwater reef, meaning today's mountain peaks were once the bottom of a prehistoric sea. 15. Space City Geography. Houston earned the nickname Space City, not just because of NASA, but because its flat geography and proximity to the Gulf made it perfect for rocket launches and space communications. Geography literally helped launch America into space. 16. Rivers that flow backwards. Texas has rivers that change direction depending on rainfall. For example, the Red River can reverse flow during floods. This happens because Texas rivers cut through such varied terrain, from mountains to flat plains to coastal marshes, that water sometimes fights itself. 17. Caverns that go forever. Texas is home to more than 3,000 known caves. The Natural Bridge Caverns near San Antonio are the largest, stretching deep underground with giant chambers, stalactites, and even underground lakes. Exploring them feels like visiting another planet. 18. The deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. In 1900, a hurricane struck Galveston Island, killing at least 6,000 people. It remains the deadliest natural disaster in American history. The flat, low-lying geography of Galveston made it especially vulnerable, and it changed the way Texas prepares for hurricanes forever. 19. The Great Plains meet the desert. Texas is one of the only states where you can drive from lush grasslands to dry desert in just a few hours. The meeting point of the Great Plains and the Chihuahuan Desert creates one of the most dramatic transitions of geography in the U.S. 20. The Bluebonnet Explosion. Every spring, fields across Texas are carpeted in bluebonnets. Entire highways get lined with these blue flowers, and Texans take road trips just to take pictures. The soil and climate in central Texas are perfect for this iconic bloom. 21. An inland sea, sort of. The Permian Basin in West Texas was once a shallow inland sea. Today, it's one of the richest oil-producing regions in the world. Geography from millions of years ago literally powers the state's economy today. 22. The Rio Grande Rift. The Rio Grande doesn't just mark a border. It runs along a continental rift where the Earth's crust is pulling apart. Over millions of years, this rift shaped valleys and mountains, giving Texas some of its most dramatic landscapes. 23rd. Salt Flats of Texas. At the base of the Guadalupe Mountains lie the Salt Flats, remnants of an ancient sea. Today, they glisten white under the sun, looking almost like snow. Texans once used this salt for preserving food long before refrigeration. 24. A coastline that's sinking. Much of the Texas Gulf Coast is slowly sinking due to natural subsidence and human activity. Places like Galveston and Houston face constant battles against rising water levels. Geography here isn't just history, it's an unfolding story. 25. Texas could be its own country. And finally, the most mind-blowing fact of all, Texas is the only state that was once its own independent nation. Its sheer size, unique geography, and natural resources mean that if it were separate today, it would have the 10th largest economy in the world, bigger than Australia, bigger than Spain. And there you have it, 25 Texas geography facts that prove the Lone Star State is full of surprises. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more people. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode where we explore even more unbelievable facts about places you thought you knew. Because when it comes to geography, there's always more than meets the eye.